Okay, this is a little bit more spread out. We're now on a leverage circuit. Okay, we've moved from tackling drills to a leverage circuit. We've taken a water break, maybe done a little bit of team time, and now we're on leverage circuit. Okay, the key to any leverage circuit is reminding your players that you need to push running backs or any ball carriers to the outside. If you're head up, the ball carrier has two decisions he can make. If you take away the inside, he's got one decision. Okay, he's got to go to the boundary. While your guys are pursuing, your boundary then acts as another defender. Okay, these cones are 10 by 10. You're maintaining inside leverage. Okay, your focus is on the near hip and near shoulder, and you are tapping the hip. You're tapping the hip just to let the coach know that you were close enough to step on his foot or smell his breath. Okay, if you can't tap the hip, then you're not close enough to tackle. You are out of position. Okay, now this is simply angle tackle without the contact that we had seen before in the tackling circuit. Okay, tap the hip though gets you also used to not slowing down. Okay, we don't want to teach kids to run up to a player and then stop. We want them to keep forward motion. Don't confuse them with the freeze, okay, too often. So you have to have this in the leverage circuit to remind them that in real life you don't freeze during a football game when you get up to the ball carrier. You actually keep going. Okay, so this is training their bodies and their eyes to run through by tapping the hip. Now once these guys are getting it down and they're feeling pretty good about their inside leverage, okay, at another circuit, you're going to have cutback. You're going to widen up the cones and you're going to allow the players to cut back. Now the key coach point here is this. As soon as the ball carrier cuts back, you need to move upfield. You need to move upfield. Okay? Always staying on that inside hip. Always staying on the inside hip. Okay? This guy got beat. He went outside. Okay? If you end up from this angle, if the tackler ends up near the camera, in between the camera and the ball carrier, he got beat. Okay, this guy, he got beat too. He wasn't focused on the inside leverage. He wasn't pushing him out. If he was pushing him out, he wouldn't have been able to cut back like that. Here we go. Focus on the hip, cuts up. Good job right there. That's a good job right there. Okay, let's take a look at the guy who got beat and then the guy who didn't. As soon as the cutback happens, he needs to go straight upfield. He's on the run. Boom. Here he needs to go straight upfield. If you float, and you're only going to float if you're running too high, okay, if you float, he could get around you. A little shifty back is going to get around you. And that's exactly what happens here. Boom. He floated. He got around. Now, depending on how tough that guy is, okay, depending on, how he can recover from technique, he may make that play. But you don't want to bet on it, especially in a man-to-man situation. Next guy, though, he's focused on the near hip. He's pushing him out. The cutback happens. He goes straight upfield. Okay, that's a win for the defense. Okay, this is outside leverage drill, locking up linemen. Okay, hand play. The idea is to try to get out. Don't get reached. Tackles in a 3 technique. Don't get reached. Okay, defensive ends. Don't get reached. Okay, you wrap up. You move to one side. You try to slap the hand up and get your arm under. Slap the hand up, get your arm under. Okay? There's part of the circuit where you're slapping the hand up and getting under. Then there's part of the circuit where you can add a running back. And you have 2 defenders and 2 offenders. 2 offensive players. Okay? Add the running back. Tap the hip. Okay? Now, this is the star drill. Okay? Touch the cone on the right. Touch the cone on the left. Touch the cone at the end. Okay? Always digging. Hand on the ground. Guys, walk through this with them, especially guys new to your program, new to this drill, or guys who had some time off. Walk through this with them, or they're just going to be running and touching cones randomly. Okay? Additionally, coaching points on good drills. Explain to them under what circumstances you need to change directions like this in a game. Okay? Reverse. Running back cuts back. Play action. You got to get back into position, get low, steal the base. Put your hand on the ground, steal the base. Make sure all your coaches are using the same language. Star drill, changing directions. There's a million reasons why you would need to do that in a game. Okay? And get the reps. Get them in, get them out. Don't worry so much about the quick count as long as you're using some kind of motion signal. If it's defensive practice, guys, don't use a whistle, don't use a go. Use a visual signal just like the ball. Coach there was using his foot. Okay? That's real football. You go on the ball. If you teach them to go on go in a drill, they're going to go on go in a game. And you're going to be offsides, and it's going to be your fault. You either coach it or you allow it. Okay, this is gap drill. Put the bags on the ground, run to the... You signal to the ball carrier which bag to run to. Okay, mostly for linebackers, but you try to meet them there, maintaining your leverage. Tap the hip. Always tapping the hip. Boom. Okay, this is shuttle run. Everyone use it. Combines use it. Okay, start in the middle cone, end at the middle cone, then cut up field. Start at the middle cone, end at the middle cone, cut up field. First guy slips, second guy doesn't. Okay, some guys are just going to be quicker. Okay, you do this drill long enough in the same place, okay, the grass is going to get chewed up too. Recover from that. You can't play defense if you don't stay on your feet. Got to stay on your feet or get right back on your feet. It's a good job by the first guy. Real good hustle by the second guy. Boom, he recovers. Nice. Running a little high. Got to get these guys to stay low. Got to get them to run low. Okay, and that's it for leverage circuit. So guys, you've seen 7 or 8 drills for a good tackle circuit. Okay, you've seen them in action and heard the coaching points. Leverage circuit needs to happen later. You don't do the circuits back to back. Get a break in there. Get a water break. Get some team time. Get them with their individual coaches. Okay, have the individual coaches remind them of some things they need to work on. If it's during the season, okay, so you don't have to spend a whole film time, okay, tearing into your players, have the individual coaches kind of lay off maybe. Talk to them during the individuals on a Monday or Tuesday right before they get to the circuits and make up for it with some hustle. Okay, guys, so I want to take a last opportunity to impress upon you the importance of making a commitment to non-contact and low-impact drills for teaching tackling and teaching pursuit. It saves a lot of injury, okay? It creates muscle memory for your players to know exactly what to do in a situation. It's more about technique than it is about toughness, and we've all got guys we wish we were a little bigger, a little stronger, maybe a little tougher, but you can't coach that. You can coach technique, okay? Use the non-contact drills all season long. That way they've been learning tackling since spring ball. They don't have to learn tackling on the first day of pads and get all beat up. They're probably going to be sore enough as it is with all the conditioning they've had to do. Also, you can do it every day, small increments. Never forget, use the positive language. Have all the coaches using the same coaching points. Use them in the drills. Use them during the game. Coaches, I know that's a lot of drills to choose from. You may not have the guys. You may not have the coaches to run that many drills. It may seem like it's going to take a long time to put them in. Okay? There's a solution for that. What you need to do is teach a couple of drills a day and take, instead of 90 seconds, maybe 5 minutes per station. Okay? Really teach it. Keep the tempo slow. Demonstrate for them. Okay? As the season goes on, okay, you shorten the time of the drills till you get them down to 60 seconds. If your players have done them enough time, they know when they get there because you set them up the same every time. Okay? You have the same coaches or two running the same drills every time. You do them at the same time of practice. Okay? When they get there, they know exactly what to do. There's no more teaching time. Okay? So you go from having them in 5-minute increments to 2-minute increments, okay, down to you are now in 60 seconds. Get them in, get them out, blow the whistle. Get them in, get them out, blow the whistle. Okay? You can then do tackle circuit, 5 or 6 guys, okay? Get your team captains, your team leaders, with keeping up the tempo, keeping up the enthusiasm. But you're not going to teach your whole team those in one day, okay? as the season goes on, you need to shorten the time of each drill. That goes for tackle circuit. That goes for leverage circuit as well. Guys, use non-contact drills. Reduce the amount of injuries you have on your team for the year. We don't need to hurt anybody trying to teach tackling. Tackling is more about technique than it is about toughness. Okay? Get all your tempos correct. Walk through it with them. Make sure your drills are relevant. Make sure they're about real football situations. Explain the football situations that drill is about while the players are out there. Okay? Get them excited about the project. Have all the coaches use consistent language and consistent coaching points. That way those become part of their own thought processes when they're tackling. Okay? Don't mistake a technique drill for a toughness drill. Otherwise, kids get hurt. Okay? Tackling saves you the big play. And if you're giving up the big play, you're probably not playing very good defense these days. Okay? Get them tackling. Don't get them hurt. And watch the results.